Could you speak to the quarterback situation and perhaps if you'd use Cam to throw the ball a lot and Kyle to run the ball a lot, or how are you going to move against North Carolina A&T?
Well, I mean, Kyle can throw the ball, so that's not. We're not bringing in Kyle just to run the football. I mean, he can throw it. He's a Division I college quarterback, a talented player. You know, I don't know what's going to happen during the course of the game. You can never predict it, but you know, we think both those guys give us every opportunity to win. We'll see who starts the game. And who plays the majority of snaps. I don't know how it's going to unfold, but yeah, I mean, we send Kyle in there, and it's not just to run the football. I mean, he's got to execute the offense, and he can.
When you ask your defensive linemen to watch cut-ups or film of old players, maybe Spider players who rush the passer well, is there somebody you point them to?
Yeah, I don't say a whole lot to them. We got a couple defensive line coaches that do all that, and our defensive coordinator. So no, I never have. I mean, obviously we've had some good ones here with Sid Berry and a bunch of the other ones, and I've been around some really great pass rushers throughout my years being a head coach and a coordinator. So you know, I just leave it up to them. I don't know enough about pass rush. You know, so our guys, Chris Ellis is doing a great job with those outside guys and really honing some skill sets and, you know, and really working hard to rush the passer, and it showed up pretty good.
How would you assess the progression of your defense from earlier this season when they might have had a couple of struggles to 6 sacks last week, winning, you know, grinded out games? Where do you evaluate that side of the ball overall?
You know, some positives. I always expect greatness, you know, from our defense. I mean, greatness. And, you know, but some of the positives, you look, I mean, they had quite a few passing yards, but we held them under their yards per attempt by 2 yards, which is significant. You know, we had the 6 sacks. You know, they dropped back 56 times. I think they were 3 of 13 on third downs. You know, we gave up the 1 touchdown on fourth down. I think the biggest thing defensively, if we can just eliminate, you know, big plays, you know, some coverage busts, things that have occurred, you know, I think we'll be fine on defense. But probably, as you look back at it, a lot of yards, but to hold Rhode Island to 17 points, you know, is a pretty good afternoon work.
How easy, difficult, how much of a challenge is it to shift gears from last week's offense to this week's offense for what that unit has to do?
I mean, not bad. I mean, we you know, Rhode Island was a pretty decent running attack too, and so we got to defend both. We got to defend the run. Obviously, A&T is going to run the ball more than Rhode Island did last week. We have to defend it, but you know, they'll throw the football too, so we got to defend the throw game too, and so you know, it's not an adjustment. You know, the big adjustment is you know, just a really athletic quarterback back there, and I think that's an adjustment, and that's where we got to be really smart in you know, how we drop people. You know, we're going to have somebody around him at all times, whether it's scrambles, quarterback runs. He's pretty electric.
Hey, could you share your thoughts on Vincent Brown, with whom you worked 2008 here?
Glad to see Vincent's a head coach. I worked with him 1 year, national championship year, and he was an excellent football coach, really good with the players, built relationships, and you know, I think if you want to move up the ladder, I mean, I think you got to be really smart and you got to build relationships, and Vince has done that, and he's a bright football coach. And I'm sure the players there at A&T really love him and probably work really hard for him. And I'm proud to see him, you know, getting to run a Division I football program.
Obviously ready to play Kyle up at Rhode Island. I wonder if you could discuss your role there, and as we move into the North Carolina A&T game, what it might be.
My role right now is backing up Cam, of course, and also staying ready. You know, I got to still put in just as much time as when I was the starter, and I'll continue to do that. And then I didn't know my role was going to be this, but at Rhode Island, it was to go in there and run the football for the team. So, really my role is just to help the team win in any way possible, whether that's sitting on the sideline telling Cam what I'm seeing or going in the game and making plays.
Are you physically capable of throwing the ball as you did in August, given your oblique situation?
Yeah, I'm back. I can definitely throw the ball. I've been going through practice throwing the ball. I'm feeling good. Still a little sore, but nothing I can't play through now.
Thank you.
What was that touchdown scoring drive like for you and for Savon? I mean, he had gone out of the game with an injury. We didn't think he was coming back. Can you kind of talk us through that drive in which the two of you almost alternated runs?
Yeah, that was just a hard-nosed football old-timer drive right there. It was like funny, like halfway through the drive we're cracking jokes at each other because we're both taking hits, delivering hits, and it was just a lot of fun, that drive. And then finally reaching the end zone on that, it was like a lot of emotion was out. Felt like we got up 2 scores on them. We got one of the best defenses in the CAA, so usually when you're in that position you're set. And there's just a lot of emotion. I mean, to go up there on the road and do that was amazing for us.
What was the impact of having Savon there? I mean, you all saw him go out of the game with the injury. He's on the card at halftime, and boom, there he is back in the game.
Yeah, it was awesome to see him come back in. We got a bunch of tough guys on this team that are willing to do anything for the team to win, and he's one of those guys. And to see him rip a couple big runs, make people miss in the hole to get first downs, it was amazing to watch, especially from my angle.
What was it like, though, to contribute after being injured, the frustration of being injured, but then to be able to come back and contribute, like you said, maybe not the way you had originally planned, but to be able to contribute in a game that you guys really wanted to have and needed to have?
It felt amazing. Just to have that adrenaline rush again of going in the game, and just, part of the reason why I love this university is the teammates we have here. So just to be able to, help them out, help them win a game, that felt like amazing on my part. And just, it felt like all that hard work I was doing in rehab and still keeping up with film was worth it at that moment. And just to see the team come together at that moment was amazing.
Jeremiah, great pass rushing day against Rhode Island. When you study pass rushers, who do you study?
I study a lot of people. I actually studied our former player, Kobe Turner, when he was here, because he was definitely a big factor in that. But like, if I'm talking about like NFL-wise, like the top players, you got Nick Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Aaron Donald, for real.
When you think about what makes a good pass rusher, what are maybe the top 2 or 3 things that allow guys to beat the quarterback?
We got one, physicality for sure. That's also a big factor in football. Then you got the mental. You want to dominate them, and it's all about like determination. I think those 3 things are like the big top 3.
And when you watched Kobe, what did you see?
Everything like I just said, like the determination, the physicality, all that.
You had 11 and a half sacks as a junior. How many games did Bergen Catholic play?
I want to say about 10.
That's tough.
About 10 total. In a season or like total?
In that season.
In that season,
juniors.
like 8.
8 games, 11 and a half sacks.
Yeah.
You play inside and outside. Do you have a preference?
Not really. I like both. I think I can do good at both positions.
How about playing against a team that throws the ball 50 times a game, like Rhode Island did?
Probably prefer D tackle.
To playing a team like North Carolina A&T that throws it 15 times a game.
Nah, yeah, I definitely like playing inside when a team throws a lot because it's definitely easier when you go up against a guard.
Thank you.
What were you guys, both you individually and the rest of the guys, feeling Saturday to come on with 3 sacks for you, but 6 sacks for the defense?
It was a great day. Our coach brought the energy, and we just like fed off that, and it just felt amazing.
Does that feed off of one sack to the next? Is there like a snowball effect? How does that work mentally?
I think it is a snowball effect because once you get the first one, you definitely want to get another one for sure.
How do you guys feel from a just defensive line, defensive end standpoint that you've progressed throughout the course of the season?
Yeah, that's one goal that our coach makes us look at every week. Every week every day he wants us to get at least better or at least progress every day. That's something.
And the feeling overall for the team right now, where you are, and the focus you have on each week to still hopefully attain your goals.
I've been seeing since week 1 we've got better at least defense and offense, special teams, at least one aspect somewhere on the field since week 1. I can tell by the past couple of weeks we've progressed a lot everywhere on the field.
You guys have managed to win games. You've won shootouts and you've won slugfests. How gratifying is it to know that whatever the opponent has been throwing at you, you've been able to handle it? the last couple of weeks?
It's actually extremely gratifying because just like it shows all like the hard work we put in, and it's worth it.
44 is a different number for a defensive lineman. Is there a reason?
There's really no reason. I picked it sophomore year just because my friend just told me to pick it, and I just stuck with it.
And you were a little banged up earlier in the year. Could you tell us what that was and how you feel now compared to then?
That was actually a Michigan State game. I got taken out at the end of the first quarter where popped out my shoulder. It was like a torn labrum, but like I rehabbed it back and I feel really good now.